Good morning and welcome to our meditation today. I am speaking here from Olympia, Washington. I am Jan Jorgensen at Sound and Light Healing Arts. I usually have a very strong idea in the morning of what topic is important, and something kind of just flew in almost like a bird, and it said, people are missing the magic and the metaphor and the story part of life that connects all the struggle and all the activities and what's it all about with the very strong narrative that gives you inspiration to move through, let's say, 80% of life, which is toil and movement and regular daily life activity. We can take the mundane, and you don't want to spend too much story and go into fantasy. But the important thing is to realize that there's much more magic than we're giving credit for. Why? Because it's not logical. And we are in a masculine-based world. But if we even give a potential for, say for instance, after my mother passed away, there was a little bird that would come wherever I was in my house and would sit next to the window and tap on the window and want to be near me wherever I was. And then I had a minor surgery and I was resting in bed, and this little bird was tapping crazy above my window in my bed, which he usually didn't do just during the day. He'd be next to me in my computer in the kitchen. He was tapping wildly. And I said, well, what is it? It sounded frantic. And I got out of bed, and someone had come in my house and was robbing my computer off my desk. So sometimes by extending our awareness past this focused, on fire brain, the to-do list, but to listen and feel into, these are feminine qualities, and they're very much lost into our social fabric right now. But to listen and sense, and then sit back and stop thinking, take it into your heart and say, is there a picture here? And sometimes the picture I'm given is, oh my God, well, that's so big. Could that be true? And I say, maybe it is. I'll let it be a little bit true. So what prompted my coming up with this topic this morning is I have this beautiful Gärtner lyre. It's about this big. And it represents to me the purest tone on the planet. It's from Germany. And I was this lyre was brought to me by my vocal teacher when I was learning to sing pure tones, unbeknown to me that I would eventually be singing them as a sound healer into people's spines. So I had this lyre, and on this lyre, it's very interesting. Okay. So as we are thinking about the potential magic in our lives, as if we are in our feminine, we are getting a picture of something and a feeling about it. Again, it's not a thought, it is a feeling. And if we follow that feeling, it's like door upon door of new story, new connections of the dots that take us away from our mind and that stress to do kind of frazzled place into a place of magic. So I have this beautiful lyre that I'm contemplating selling, and it has all these strings, and it is the most beautiful tone in the universe. And I think, why am I letting this go now? And I realized it's because the work that I'm assigned to do with other beings like you listening to this, we are tuning up the entire planet. We are going beyond working on a one-to-one basis, or I was teaching about tone with this lyre. And it's time, instead of sitting on all of our wonderful material things we've made a pile of that were very useful for us at the time we had them, it's important to let things go, even if it's a thing that we thought we could never let go. A piece of jewelry, give it to a niece. new eyes, new appreciation. If it's something that you haven't looked at or appreciate in a while, it also brings you a tithing. So if I sell my lyre, this allows me to expand within a 3-week trip coming up overseas to honor and to play the earth, strings, and tones within that land, to be awakened through the frequencies of my voice into the earth, where I need no instrument. I guess what I'm saying is I need no intermediary. I don't need that instrument anymore. So you might have something that you've outgrown and you don't need, but yet it has great value and sentimental value. Oh, I wore this. I had this. It's mine. It's lovely. Take a picture of it and let it go. And put a few $1,000s in the bank and let that be tithing for the next golden step for your story. So this morning, again, as I was thinking, a woman in Brazil, and I said, oh, a woman in Brazil wants this lyre. Now, to me, angelic beings bring music, bring tones. So this lyre is almost like, and I know angels come in the form of birds as well. So I thought, my lyre, which carries the perfect tone, the angelic beings, like a bird, is flying from here down to South America. And then I said, oh, I got a chill. There's a prophecy when the condor, it's a very special bird, flies from the place in the north down to the south, that is the great shift. So I'm letting myself enjoy and own this story. And it's probably nonsense to someone else, but create your story. I am letting this very valuable, beautiful lyre bird fly down and become this peace, reckoning, bid, realignment according to this story as it flies into this beautiful woman in Brazil's hands. Well, simultaneously, that is my exchange to go and do a great deed for the grid and the frequency profile of the earth. So that might be the sign, that lyre going down there, for me to value and appreciate and make sure every day on my trip, I'm making it worth that I sold my lyre. I am living up to that tithing. So we can't just make piles of material goods, but they have value. So one other example before we drop in and we help you paint your own magic mirror of making your life more full of just anecdotes, metaphors, and elevating the mundane into the potential of a magical story, the magical story of me. Okay? So when I knew in the horizon that I would eventually be painting these images of the divine feminine, because it's visual, my voice is getting tired. But I said, I'll never be as good as these ladies. Why even try? But it's creativity, and I knew I had to do it. Spirit was pushing me. The teacher was Shiloh Sophia. So I took my full set. I don't know if anybody else in the world even has this. A full set of 10 perfectly tuned gongs. That was 10, each of them worth $500, that were my kickoff from my divorce of a traditional life into the ever after of what I knew I had to do and be. And those gongs were delivered to me right after my divorce, and I took off on my path, okay? It's like Dorothy leaving home of black and white. I needed some cash to take the painting course, and I took my beloved 10 gongs that I have used in ceremony, and people have just met themselves through the sound of these gongs. And when they all play together, it's heaven. And I said, I will value this painting course as much as I love these 10 gongs. And I'll tell you, that exchange has brought me to painting almost every morning, and to moving and to being dedicated, because if not for that, what? I sold the gongs for nothing. Sometimes it is the giving up, the sacrifice. When a mother loses her son in the war, she becomes a peace activist. So we have to launch our stories sometimes. And so, to make a long story short, 2 days ago, I put up my first show here at the biggest, most beautiful coffee shop, curated by a real art curator. And we went and we hung them, and I put the labels. And I'll tell you, my spine has been straighter ever since. And I went in the coffee store and I kind of moved one. And I told him, I said, I'm not just a drifter playing with, I said, I'm the artist. And the lady said, oh my God, we love your artwork. Another lady went up with a big smile, was studying it and read it and walked away with the big smile. And I said, okay, I'm an artist. It was worth the 10 gongs, which were just sitting there. So what in your life has been a building block, but you're ready to make the next step? We can't live in the old way of a pyramid like this with all this stuff down there. It weighs us down. Maintaining it, thinking about it. You might have, and women ask me all the time, Jan, I'm so afraid for moving forward with my spiritual guidance and to do this and that, because how will I survive? Well, maybe you don't need 3 cars. Maybe you don't need the jewelry, the fur coat, the this, the that. Just let it go, trade it, be part of the new paradigm, which, believe me, we're going to be so light, you won't even recognize your physical body. It's going to be so beautiful. So we're moving away from the very intense, electric, masculine way of, do you need it? Can you afford it? Can you live without it? You know, that very tight corridor of making decisions in the physical world. We all know men, the man part of me always thinks that. That's fear-based. I know there's enough for me when I am on my absolute spiritual path. So that is our mantra today. And where do we get the guidance and reassurance to drown out the 80% saying, what do you think you're doing? You're nuts. How are you going to get money? That's not a plan. Where's your IRA? Blah, 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 blah. And then I'll say, well, I never planned to get old. Or I plan to live in a community with other women on practically nothing. So we need to have some sanity and some stability. But let's begin by loosening the ties of our heavy materialistic pyramid thinking, where we are sitting on all this stuff, and let your heart open to magical thinking, creative possibilities, and you are rewriting your story. One thought is you can write in the morning in your journal or in the evening, and let your intention of writing. When I woke up this morning, I announced, it's going to be a beautiful day today. How do I know? A lot of things could happen, but I said that. And I'm going to hold that overriding dominant frequency no matter what happens. I will be floating in my boat. And as you're floating in your boat, you don't need your gongs. You don't need your light. You don't need all the tools that you thought defined you and made you feel like a wealthy person. Okay. So I know that if you're listening to this, you're already thinking of some ways that you can lighten up, but your brain and your whole body might not be on board with this idea of, remember the Etch-a-Sketch where you write something and it's real and there it is, and then it's gone. It's a magnetic writing thing, or a picture, and then you shake it and it's gone. Think about that you're going to create your life day to day. And you're going to let yourself go out of the box of fearful, logic-based thinking, materialistic thinking, And you're going to let your body walk and feel and move through life a little bit lighter, more joyful, and more magical. So our intention for this meditation is to cut some of our corset strings, which keep us from breathing deep, and dropping into our heart. Maybe if you can't do it all the time, just a few times during the day, or at least in the morning and the night. In the morning, you're saying, I'm going to have a great, wonderful day. It's full of high vibrations. In the night, you walk back through your mind and you think, well, oh, that felt kind of crummy. And you're just going to surround that circumstance, that person with the very, very high frequency and vibration, and you're going to mitigate it. Why? So that you can breathe deep and drop into your heart and quit thinking about it and be contracting, okay? And create more of that. All right, so we're going to begin our meditation. So go ahead and sit up straight. It helps to close your eyes to let all the outside information be shut out. So you have a black velvety nothingness occurring in your brain. In your consciousness, you are deciding to park the part of you that is aware and awake in your heart. Go right into your heart. Take a deep breath and notice how good it feels just to let go of all of that thinking, just for a few minutes. We're making an intention to reference ourselves as a character in a story that has tight spots, intensity, and excitement. And we are choosing to reference uncomfortable parts or those tight spots now as delicious, exciting possibilities. You are reframing situations in a story where someone is annoying you, you're saying, aha, I sense a villain in my midst. Da, 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 da. And look at them. And look and see that they're simply wearing a mask to show you your fear, to show you some of your still lurking, lingering, unfinished business within yourself. And just that recognition changes everything. For you hold by your joining into this idea of creating a glorious self movie. You have a magic wand. And that person will only be the dastardly deed person if you're still wearing a target on that issue. So the minute you see someone coming in, you have your magic wand and you say, I dismiss that person. I go in myself and I see where that person is mirroring my own fear-based lingering referencing. And you simply take a breath in, poof, give it a higher frequency, unwind it, and let it go. It's that quick. And what happens to that villain as they drop their mask and you smile at them and they say, oh, game over. I don't have to play this game with you anymore. Thank God, it was tiring. So it is just about time for humankind to say, game over. We are done. So in your mind, ask that all the people that come in and around you that have been the actors in your play. Usually about this time in the meditation, I'd say we invite in all of the divine beings of light and the angels. Well, guess what? They were angels to be your teachers. Let all the faces of the people who annoyed and betrayed you and look around and in your heart say, what would I have done without you to show me the difference between fear and love? I am now excusing you from the decks of my life, and I am making my own boat ready to go for smooth sailing And I don't need you appearing in my movie in these ways anymore. I release you and I thank you now. So you are letting a lot of old courting and energy and blah, 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 blah. Sometimes the original angry person, say a mom or a dad, has reappeared with different masks because it is a vibration that you chose to learn. You chose to let someone else's anger slide off your brilliant, divinely held energetic field. So let's say and claim that today is the day to acknowledge your own power to rewrite the story that all the villains were actually scared, and you helped them learn about themselves, and they helped you learn about you, and that part of the game is over for you. And you're going to be a model now of unconditional love, which is like Teflon to the world. Take a deep breath and just feel the immensity of that potential to be free. Now that you're free and you can breathe, let's call in the spirit guides to assist as we allow the Creator to make us a formula of a very high essence, brilliant concoction that will help us redefine, even to a greater degree, our absolute core divine profile. So the Creator has made this beautiful ball of light, and it is coming down very gently from Source, and it is now hovering over the top of your head. And simply by asking, it is true. Take a deep breath and let this energy of this ball of light now drench your brain, your skull, your eyes. Notice how it makes everything else seem trivial, infinitesimally unimportant. Let this energy now come down and fill your head, your neck, your shoulders. We are claiming the drama trauma aspect of our lives is now over. We are claiming our right and responsibility to speak words that hold vibrational flowers of truth that is easy for others to smell and see and know and trust as the new forms we're moving forward, creating new social fabrics. Take a deep breath and feel that you are now instituting this change within your body powerfully and permanently now. Every cell is being re-engineered as this essence comes in. We ask and intend that all of our organs be refreshed and regenerated now. We ask that any area of inflammation or fatigue or overuse or stress in our bones, our tendons, in our physical structure be realigned and made perfect mechanically now. We ask that our endocrine system be singing harmoniously for the highest vitality. And most importantly, we ask that our mental screen of what means what is erased. We leave behind our old thinking of what has value as we take our awakened consciousness into our heart and we open our eyes to an entirely new, colorful world synchronicities, story punctuations, whispering from nature, little whispers from nature, and seeing the beauty, beyond messages, beyond synchronistic, collaborative relationships, how people, things, and nature are all working in your favor to design a life that makes divine spirit present here on earth through you. Take a deep breath and feel the joyous gravity of this. It feels light, but you still are here, grounding this physical manifestation of spirit through your body. Let it go all through your body. Nice deep breath. Now, just to check, where are your eyes? Your eyes are in your heart. Your eyes are in the 0 point of your heart. They can access all apertures of magic, truth. You are hearing the humming of the universe, and once you hear a frequency or hum, you can follow it. Is that bird a message for you? Is this pattern in the clouds an orchestration of all that is to assist and support and to allow you to feel and know the importance of your presence in this specific space and time? Allow yourself to be amused, enchanted, and entertained with everything working in full harmony for your happiness and well-being. And as you choose to be on your spiritual path, every step holds immense magic. No one else can give it to you. Now take a look in your physical environment. Are there things there that are just holding you down? This or that or material things? Let yourself imagine big golden scissors and you are cutting the cords and letting it float away so that you feel even lighter and that you have room in your lives for the new tools, the new things, the new people, the new books, the new whatever it is to assist you, the new technology, because you are not maintaining and holding on to things that you have grown out of. Imagine and picture yourself releasing all of that, letting it go. Oh, that feels so wonderful. Feel how your heart is just pulsing with an openness and joy, and your spine is very, very aligned and open and balanced. All right, so take a nice deep breath and let these energies continue down out the bottom of your feet, connecting into the earth grid, and back up through your feet, your knees, and into your body, and flooding into your heart so that you do feel grounded, a part of this earth, and you're holding the frequencies of this nice, beautiful earth grid. Let it come up through your neck and through your head and back up out the top of your head, back up, connecting to Creator Source. There you go. So now to finish this meditation, we're going to make a beautiful golden resilient egg around your entire physical self to protect and nurture and allow this energy to form even a more profound coherency. Beautiful. Okay, So we're getting ready to have closure to this part of our Be the Light meeting this morning. We're going to stop the recording and we'll just share anything experienced or any questions or anything that's come up during the week. And I am Jan Jorgensen at soundandlighthealingarts.com. Thank you.